Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your Capricorn season reading. Yes, finally, relief. Sagittarian energy feels like hell on earth for you. Like, why? On top of that, Jupiter in your 12th. Oh, it's been rough. It's been a lot on you physically. It's been a lot of work. It's been so much criticism to the point where you feel like you're not doing a good job. And then all of a sudden, the sun sets and rises in Capricorn on December 21st. And suddenly, you see the fruits of your labor. Finally. You feel inspired by what you've done and by what you're gonna do next. The Four of Wands and the Three of Wands. So much so that you feel like you can really rest, as long as you don't let Jupiter and Gemini create a sense of anxiety that is completely changeable. Of course, you have every reason to be anxious and worried. But are you being anxious and worried because there are really things to worry about? Or are you being anxious and worried because that's your way of self-soothing when challenges arise? The sun in Capricorn starting on December 21st and the new moon in Capricorn on December 30th is so helpful because you need connection and you want connection and you haven't been able to connect. It's been too much. Your energy's been too much. People's energy has been too much. Finally bonding all of the truths. And it's what you love. You love the moon, new moon in Capricorn. You love when people tell it how it really is, and then you can switch to the other version of you that handles business better than anyone else. That emotional control that you have, you love it. But it's like everyone's had this righteous energy where they didn't really want to say the darkest truth of it all. And it's like, no, let's just get to it. Yeah? Even you were afraid to say it. But the new moon in Capricorn opens it up wide because we all know what's going on. You knew what's going on, and it's time to jump off from that point. It's time to really move because you're not sitting on these feelings. If you have a new home or new relationship, you finally get to have a good time in your home. You finally get to move forward with your lifestyle. Whether that means you are letting yourself plan bigger travels, or you're finding complete comfort within your current environment, current dynamic, and adding in fun and enjoyment. And that might be a part of it as well that's been missing. It's been all work and no play. Finally, you're letting yourself play again. You feel good about the decisions that you've made. And that's probably a huge part of the worry that you haven't been able to resolve within yourself. And for some reason, your connections have been so consumed by the energy of Sagittarius season that you haven't been able to see the good in it all, you know? But this new moon in Capricorn is like, you're gonna see the good in it. You're gonna take this struggle and this pain of whatever it's taken to get here, and you're going to feel happy about this risk. You're going to heal from the reality of what happens when you take a risk in life. Oh, it's so painful. Oh, it's so hard, especially if you're dealing with the Sagittarius. Oh, it hurts so much. Whether you've hurt them, they've hurt you, whatever it is, it hurts. The truth of it. But Venus is going to enter Pisces on January 2nd, your 9th house. Yeah. And it helps you with this process. It helps you with this process. It helps you reinvent through the pain, something that you might be struggling with right now with Venus in your 8th house. You might be struggling with the pain. The pain might be too much. It's too shocking to the body, to the mind. When Venus shifts into Pisces, the pain becomes the power. It becomes the truth that guides you in the direction of abundance in whatever way that is. It clears the distractions, right? Because sometimes when you're distracted, you make yourself vulnerable in ways that work against the objective. So Venus in Pisces, it clears the distractions away. It says, oh wow, this approach is not actually bringing movement. I need to be more strategic. I need to be more directed and more direct. Yeah? I need to focus on the goal and jump over the pain that people will leave me with and not acknowledge and not pretend like they didn't do anything. I need to accept the reality and the truth, the raw truth of that, and jump over that to my comfort, stability, good life, money. Take the money, go treat yourself, go get a massage, go get your nails done, get your hair done, have a little spa day, take yourself to have a nice meal, buy something new for your home, focus on your wealth. When you're sitting in this wealthy space, in this wealthy place in your life, none of those people in those situations that you had to go through and navigate to get to that place, they won't be sitting in that home with you. You'll be sitting in that home, whether it's by yourself or with your partner, or with your family, or with your dog. That's it. So this energy where you want to take everyone with you to that wealthy place, it's not the objective. Some of them won't come even if you ask them to. Beg them to. Why? Because it's for you to learn how to cultivate that material abundance for you, away from the emotion of what it took to attract that abundance. Two separate energies. It might feel like going backwards, but it's because there's more to evaluate about self here when Mars retrograde moves from Leo back into your sign Cancer on January 6th. It's a chance to actually be very deliberate with this pretty powerful energy. There are some aspects, especially of this work environment, or maybe wherever you find yourself in life right now, where you've missed some details, you've missed the requirement to smooth over what's going wrong. If you take this opportunity to look what's going wrong directly in the face, the Five of Pentacles, where you're lacking, where your team is lacking, where you're lacking financially, whatever it is, if you take the time to face it head on with the people that you need to face it with this Mars energy, you'll actually see that these people were just wanting you to show them that you care. You can do the work. It's the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. As long as you feel it, the work will be done and it will be great. But I think you've been trying to figure out what the work is, right? And it's been confusing because it's like, okay, I'm just trying to do the work. I'm trying to get everything done. But then why the Five of Pentacles? Why do I still feel broke? Why do I still feel like people hate us? Why do I feel like this thing that's supposed to feel really happy feels quite horrible, especially if this is in a work setting, but also in a relational setting? Why does it feel like my work is worth nothing? My efforts are worth nothing. And I'm working so hard. The Eight of Pentacles, harder than I ever have. Harder than I said I would. I said I wouldn't work this hard again in this way, but why am I back in this cycle? Fighting with myself about it, because what was the whole point of manifesting something better just to be struggling again? To be in conflict. I didn't want that. But Mars in Cancer, as personal as it might feel, is not personal. It's the heat that needs to come through where there's a lot of coldness today. It's the leveling up that has to happen. And whereas right now it's been such a battle, it only makes you feel lack to know that there's a need to level up. Mars in Cancer gives you the energy, it gives you the information, and it is through your connections. Your connections are fueling you when you lean in. We're going to take a pause and pick back up with Mercury in Capricorn. Be back soon. Hi, Cancer. And we're back. Yeah, I had to take a little break. It was late last night. This morning feels like Christmas break, you know? It's like you don't have school. It's just that energy of pause, but also a chaos of like not doing the normal thing. And so what do you do when you're not doing the thing that you do every day? But it just has this ambiance of like the holiday spirit, memories. You love that. We're picking back up with Mercury in entering Capricorn on January 8th. Mercury will shift into your house of relationships on January 8th, and it's time to shake things up. It's time to work, but in a way that suits you. You just haven't been tapping into it because the pressure has been so high. Mercury has been in Sagittarius, causing you to overthink and causing you to miss the role that you are here to play. Once Mercury shifts, it's time to reset how everyone connects with you, speaks with you. You're setting the tone, and it is very stressful for everyone, right? Because you have to, hold on, let me turn the heat off. You know, things have to move, and you've been playing nice, and that's not what's going to make things move. That's not what's going to create the solutions needed here. You're done playing games, and you're done letting anybody treat you like your demands and expectations are small demands. They're not. And you're going to use this energy of Mercury to wake people up, remind them of the role that you play, but not in a way that feels, you know, harsh, bad. It feels helpful. Whereas before, it felt like saying things as they really are in the intensity of the energy felt like, you know, it would spark a war. It would isolate you. But not anymore. When you speak now, it isolates other people because you were holding back to not make them feel bad for not doing the work that is expected of them. So, Mercury in Capricorn is a chance to take the work off of your back. You're not here to serve everyone. And you finally let yourself, you're looking at yourself sideways like, why am I acting like this? Why am I moving like this? I'm suspicious of myself. You know, this work just needs to get done. This work doesn't define me. This, you know, this work doesn't define me. Yeah. Now, Mercury in Capricorn does provide the opportunity to take a good look at your work environment and assess what you really want out of this Virgo energy here. This energy has a plan. It knows that it's going to encounter the darkness. It is deep in the build, the darkness, while deep in the build, but it's going somewhere. It knows that everything that you desire requires a sort of passing through of challenges, good times as well, but likely a lot of challenges to get to a place where you can have more independence, agency, control, time alone with your own thoughts. And so you may find yourself in a place right now where you are passing through and you're assessing this pass through, and you could find it difficult to, Nine of Wands, see the purpose of it, right? Don't overlook the purpose of this pass through. You know why you're doing what you're doing, and you have to remind yourself consistently of why. Especially in these dark moments. And you can't be afraid, even if it feels heavy. You have to nurture yourself through this passing through. Okay, and the full moon in Cancer in your sign on January 13th will help you with this nurturing. but it'll also validate with a really sweet moment of clarity about the impact that you're having, but also this vulnerability that is so confusing because sometimes it's welcomed and sometimes it's so blocked. Under the full moon in Cancer on January 13th, you are allowed to embrace that vulnerability, and the world around you is flocking to that nurturing nature. They need it. They need the softness. They need to care and feel the care from you. It feels purposeful, especially after a time where you have been so up and down about the why, questioning the why. The full moon in your sign on January 13th is a soft reminder about the why, and on top of that, the financial abundance, the emotional abundance, the financial abundance, the connectivity, the love, the fruits of your labor, your emotional labor, your physical labor. And as this all comes to a head towards the end of Capricorn season, this sense of fulfillment and direction, abundance and peace, good times, you realize it's time to soak in that for a moment and then dip back underground. There is more work to be done. It never stops, right? And that's okay. It's about getting used to these cycles and not getting too comfortable, savoring the sweet moments when they come and the goodness of it and the growth that you feel, the peace that you feel, and then knowing that tomorrow or a week later, there's a new journey. And starting on January 19th, when the sun enters Aquarius, there is a new journey. And it's one that is about having true emotional power. Capricorn season for you is leveraging your ability to relate to any and everybody about the things that at that moment in time you become the best person to relate to. You understand, you get it. It's about leveraging the power of that to reset your life in all areas, financially, professionally, personally, relationally, romantically, to reset, not just for a sense of power, but for a sense of equilibrium where right now you currently feel off balance, or you have been feeling like you've had to either overcompensate or give more than you even feel like you have within you to give. Capricorn season is the opportunity to shift and understand that yes, that moment was about giving all that you have and pushing to your limits. Sagittarius season, Capricorn season is now about something totally different, and enjoy flexing that mental muscle to help you get things done. And then Aquarius season comes and says, it's okay to want more power. And relationships, although they are a sense of power and the ability to navigate through connections, it is not power. It's connectivity. It's information. It's the ability to negotiate. Power is a different level of control over outcomes. And when the sun enters Aquarius on January 19th, you don't just want to have control over outcomes because you desire it. You start to see so many situations where if you had the control, things would have moved faster, they would have moved properly, they would have been resolved quicker, you would have made more. And it stings. It doesn't just become information. It's not like, oh man, if I did it this way. No, it becomes painful to realize that you did not have a sense of control over those situations. And it likely has something to do with an emotional strategy that you need to fine tune. And so Aquarius season becomes about that fine tuning, and it becomes about getting really quiet and observing all of the different power sources around you so that you can learn how to navigate them, how to tap in. The cool thing is you have a lot of this under your belt already, and you're very, intentional person. And so I think the challenge of Aquarius season becomes about testing these tactics on your connections, on your partnerships, and knowing that it's okay to do it, but also knowing that there is a sense of trial and error. And I think that if you lean in and you don't overdo it in any sense, right? You try these new tactics without being deeply manipulative. You don't take more than you should. You know what the limits and the lines are. As long as you stay within that, Aquarius season is the perfect, I don't want to say playing ground, but training period for you to fine tune, learn which tactics are going to get you where, with who, and build them as a toolkit. Because as much as, we want to grow and we want to keep in mind that childlike nature that lives within everybody, especially yourself, everyone in your life is looking at you and what you are able to accomplish in this life. Your partner, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your boss. And as much as the love is at the root of all of it, and you know how to stay in that space, you also don't want to be naive to that reality. right? You can do both, right? The light and the dark, you can do both. You can keep that love, and you can use the strategies of power to make sure that the people around you respect you, value you, give you opportunities, see you in the best light. It's important to do that. It's important to not be naive and think that that's not expected. It's important not to get comfortable. Yeah? It's important to fully embody who you are without fear. It's important to take up space where the divine is showing you, this is for you, I created this for you. I don't want you to hold back here. This is the role I asked and created for you to play. Play it fully, without fear. Play it with joy in your heart. Play it with pride. We'll talk more about Aquarius season then, at the end of January. In the meantime, I love you, Cancer. This is just amazing. It's finally time to feel good because you've pushed yourself to this place. It's finally time to feel things moving forward because everything is just so clear. It's finally time to have real ambition again that feels natural, that feels like a direction that isn't forced in any way. It's completely in alignment. Love you. Talk to you in Aquarius season. In the meantime, you can schedule private and birth chart readings with me through the link in the description. The Capricorn season playlist Height is out now on Apple Music, and the link is in the description. See you in a month. Bye.